So hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Or if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Luna Rose, because I'm the flower that blooms at night. And as you can read from the title of today's video, I am going back to my roots, since for today's video, we are doing a full-on drag makeup tutorial / transformation. So let's get into it, shall we? Literally nothing came out. Let's go. So let's start off this transformation with a good old Monster energy drink. Honestly, the light of my life. I started by taking the Sugar Pill Taco White eyeshadow under my brow bone to help lift it and highlight it. And then I took the Melt 420 eyeshadow palette and literally just buffed a nice soft brown on the kind of outer edge of my eye, as well as that inner furrow, and then blend those two kind of areas together. And then took the Melt Cosmetics Rust eyeshadow palette and repeated those same steps with a slightly deeper tone of brown. So I kind of packed the pigment on the outer portion of my eye, as well as that inner furrow of my brow, and then just literally buff those two colours together and build up that depth and intensity to kind of how I want it to look like. The kind of goal is like an exaggerated triangle shape, so that's kind of what I go for. I then took a slightly deeper shade of brown and repeated those same steps, so pack a little bit of the colour on the outer edge as well as that inner furrow, blend the colours together and kind of wing it back towards my temples, kind of creating like an exaggerated feline-esque kind of cat eye shape, and I literally just went back and forth with those shades until I built up the intensity to how I wanted it to look. From here I took the P. Louise white makeup base and carved out an exaggerated cut crease shape. I do this way larger than my actual mobile eyelid, since I have hooded eyes and I want this to be visible through my lashes. And again, this is a drag makeup transformation, so it is a lot more exaggerated than what a typical kind of beauty makeup would be. And then I set that down using that same Taco matte white eyeshadow from Sugar Pill, blended a little bit more of that deeper tone of brown on the outer edge, and then here we're going to do a full-on geometry gigantic triangle of eyeliner using the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner. And again, I kind of do a very exaggerated triangle shape. I do go back in and touch it up after I've done my base foundation, but pretty much just draw a line from the outer edge of your eye back towards the tail end of the brow, and then cover up your entire natural eyelid to give you a full-on thick Amy Winehouse-esque appearance. After shaving, I went in and hydrated my skin using the Emberlise Milk moisturizer, I think that's what it's called, something like that. Anyway, this is just nice and hydrating. It soaks into my skin nice and quickly and just kind of prepares my skin for the drag it's about to endure. I then took a little bit of the e.l.f. putty primer to kind of blur my pores, colour correct my beard area using the Kimchi Chic orange colour corrector, and then I went in with my Kryolan TV paint stick, and I use the shade 3W, and it was stupidly warm when I was filming this. England is currently having a massive heat wave, so I wanted something that I knew would last a long time, so I went in with a full-on drag staple stage proof makeup. And I kind of blended this more on the central portion of my face. And then I layered over the top the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I used the shade 21 Nude Beige. And having that Kryolan TV paint stick kind of under it just gives that central portion of my face that little bit more coverage and staying power. And yeah, it was stupidly warm. I wanted sweat-proof, powerful makeup, since I was planning to film a few videos this night. And it was 30 degrees in my filming room while I was doing this. So I needed some good stage-proof drag makeup, and layering the Maybelline on top of the Kryolan TV paint stick it does it. It gives me some good full coverage. From here, I took the 406 or 070 Kryolan TV paint stick, which is pretty much just a slightly off-white, and I highlighted the central portion of my face, as well as just under my cheekbones and kind of the centre of my forehead. I have a very round hamster face, so if I don't go in quite heavily with highlight and contour, it just looks really flat. I need to artificially create some shape and dimension to my face. I did layer on a little bit of the e.l.f. camo concealer under my eyes as well, since I have very Tim Burton-esque troughs under my eyes, so I like to go in with something nice and bright to try and mitigate that a little bit. From here, I took another one of the Krylon TV paint sticks. This one is in the shade 7W, which is a lot deeper than like obviously my natural skin tone, and it is also quite a warm tone, so it gives my skin a lot of warmth, a lot of life, and again, I need to contour this round hamster face. Like, it is just a circular blob, so I am artificially chiseling in some cheekbones, as well as trying to mitigate a little bit of my double chin. I did take a slightly deeper shade also to contour my nose, which is the shade 10W, and I also laid a little bit of this to the kind of back pockets of my cheeks, as well as my temples. Again, this is a drag look. Drag is very exaggerated. Speaking of a lot, I then went in with a Krylon with the Coty Loose Airspun powder in translucent extra coverage to heavily set down my face. Again, it was like 30 degrees. I wanted this makeup to be set in place and not move around, so I regularly go in with quite a lot of powder, but I've got to say there was a lot of powder on my face, which is also why I just wear like a plain black t-shirt, so I don't really mind getting makeup or anything on it. But I heavily just packed that into my skin, waited a few minutes while it like baked in and just sealed everything nicely in place, and then I buffed off the excess using the She Glam powder foundation, just to kind of add a little bit of coverage, a little bit more colour to my skin, and to knock off any of the loose powder. It also obviously just kind of helps everything stay in place to kind of have a layered products on top of each other. Under my eyes though, I do go in with a slightly lighter shade of this powder foundation, just so it kind of reinforces the highlights that I have under there, and it isn't like darkening it by using a slightly deeper shade of the powder foundation. And again, this is drag. It is very heavy makeup. It's all about kind of an illusion and kind of rearranging or like emphasizing certain parts of your bone structure. From here, I went in with the NYX matte setting spray and just set down my face, and then for my lower lash line, I went back in with those same shades I used originally from the Melt Cosmetics Rust eyeshadow palette, and literally just rubbed them all over my lower lash line. I don't really go too heavy on my lower lash line. The upper lid area is like very carved out and cut creasy and exaggerated, and then my lower lash line is just like a soft, subtle smoke. For my brows, I took the Freedom Pro brow palette, not eyeshadows, girl. You can use eyeshadows though, they work really good for brows. And I take a slightly deeper tone to the tail end of my brow, and then I use that same deeper shade to draw on some individual hairlight strokes on the like inner portion. So I like my brows to be kind of ombre'd, so slightly lighter in the like central portion, and then slightly deeper on the outer tail edge. Speaking of adding some depth and deepening, I took the She Glam contouring kit and just heavily contoured and chiseled out my face, and then went in with the Made by Mitchell blush book, and I took the shade 90s Nude literally all over my cheeks. I absolutely love blush in general, but blush in drag, I take it to the next level. I cover my entire cheeks in this, I cover the tip of my nose in this, I apply a little bit to my chin, a little bit to my temples, and I literally did this all the way into my winged liner and the smoky like lower lash line kind of area. From here, I took a cream white paint, which is a grease paint, and then I popped like a triangle on the lower lash line area, as well as putting this into my waterline. Again, this just kind of brightens up my eyes and makes my eyes appear larger. I went back over with the NYX kind of eyeliner, just so the powder didn't distort the blackness of my eyeliner. And then for my lips, I took the She Glam Willy Wonka Charlie and the Chocolate Factory lip liner, went in with the Velvet Teddy lipstick from MAC, and then on the very central portion of my lips, I did take a little bit of Flesh Pot, which is a nice like soft paler nude. I like my lips to kind of be three-dimensional, so I did go in a little bit with the Be Perfect Cosmetics lipstick on the very center too, and then I also layered on some gloss, since, you know, 5 lip products in like one small amount of lip is a lot. Went in with some big lashes, and then that is the finished drag look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching.